Welcome to Excise and Licenses online training videos. This video will show you how to renew your marijuana cultivation license online. There are a couple of steps that you'll want to take to apply online. You'll need to go to the marijuana licenses website to see all required documents to renew this marijuana cultivation license online. You'll need to make sure that you have all of your documents filled out and uploaded on your computer. You'll also want to make sure that they are all in a PDF or JPEG format. We are not able to open up any other type of file format. You'll want to make sure that you have the email and the password that you need to log into Denver's online permitting and licensing center. And that's the same email and password that you used to create the record originally online. And then you'll want to make sure that you have a credit or debit card ready. You may also process a payment from a bank account. You would need the routing number, account holder name, and account type. There are a few required documents to renew this license online. And information. You'll first want to make sure that you can validate the main contact and mailing address information. If you need to update this during the renewal process, you will have that opportunity. You'll also need a possession of property certificate or a lease that is valid for at least 90 days from the date of application submission. The possession of property certificate is available on our website. And if you're using that, you'll want to make sure that every section is filled out and answered and signed and dated properly. If you're using a lease, we will need the full lease, including amendments. If it says that there's 100 pages, we'll need all 100 pages of that lease, and it needs to be fully executed and signed. And then you'll also want to validate the on-site manager information, and you can have up to 3 on-site managers. And the following information for individuals you designate who have the authority to make decisions regarding the licensed establishment. They must have access to and control over the licensed establishment at all times. The details to confirm is we need their first name, last name, date of birth, their home address, and their contact information, like a valid phone number and a valid email. And then you'll also need to provide a copy of your state of Colorado marijuana license. You'll need the license number, the expiration date, and a physical copy of the state license. And then you'll also need to answer whether you perform cold water extraction, and you'll need to be able to provide your alarm permit number. And then you also need your social impact plan for this license. And if applicable, you will need to provide a copy of any marijuana enforcement division actions on your license. Okay, so you are going to go to Denver's Permitting and Licensing Center, and you're going to click on Login, and you need your email and your password that you used for your accounts. And so you'll type in your email and your password, and you will click on Login. And here is the main screen for the Denver's Permitting and Licensing Center. There are a couple of ways that you can get to the screen that you need to find your renewal. You can either go under the business, occupational, short-term, and residential rental licensing section, and you can click on Renew, or you could go up here to My Records, click on My Records. And then here you'll see business licenses, and there's a little triangle next to that. You'll click on that to expand. And then here are all of the records under the email and password that you just logged in. And here are all of your records and the licensed establishment that you want to renew. You'll make sure that you go over and you look at the record ID number, and the license type is licensed establishment, and your record name. And then you'll want to make sure that you look at the address that you're wanting to renew. You want to make sure that the street address and the suite right here and is the correct address. And if you don't have a suite, it will show up without a suite number. But you want to make sure that the licensed establishment that you're renewing is for the correct company name and for the correct address. And then over here on the right hand side, you'll see renew application. And under your email and password, you may have several renewals available at the same time. And we renew at the licensed establishment level. And under each licensed establishment are the individual licenses for like the cultivation, a store, a MIP, anything like that lives under that address. You'll renew at the licensed establishment. So for example, you may have more than one licensed establishment that's ready for renewal. And if you want to know which licensed establishment, again, you'll look at the record name, which is the entity name, the company name, and then you'll also make sure that you look at the full address. And then again, if you want to see more information about this, you could click over here on the record number that's in blue, and it will give you more information like what's the expiration date, because you can renew a licensed establishment up to 90 days before the expiration date. And then this page, when you clicked on that blue record ID number, this will just show you that this is the licensed establishment. It's in a status of approved. And then it also gives you the expiration date of that of licensed establishment. So again, we'll just click back on business licenses. And then here again, you'll want to make sure that you're renewing the licensed establishment that you want. So for this example, I'm going to go to the second page, and I want to renew this licensed establishment and with this address. So you'll go over on the right hand side and you'll click on renew application. And this page is just telling the steps that you will take to renew this application with the individual licenses under the licensed establishment. And then you'll click on get started. And then here it's just telling you which of these licenses are you ready to renew today. And you have to renew all licenses at a licensed establishment at the same time. The only way that you don't renew a license at a licensed establishment is if you are wanting to surrender one of the licenses. And this information right here walks you through how you would surrender a license at a location. Otherwise, we are going to say that we're renewing all of these licenses, and then you're going to click on continue application. And it tells you over here the business file numbers that are being renewed. And then it tells you the license type that is being renewed, and then the expiration date of each license. And then you'll click on continue application. And then this page, you're just going to validate the main contact for your licensed establishment. And you can review that information here. If any of that information needs to be updated, you'll click on yes, you need to update the information. Otherwise, if everything is staying the same, you'll click on no, and then you'll click on continue application. And again, you will have an opportunity to update the mailing address, or if everything looks good on the mailing address here, you will click no, that you don't want to update the mailing address. If you click on yes, you'll have an opportunity to update the mailing address. For this example, we're going to say no, and we're going to click on continue application. And then here is your opportunity to change or add an optional email recipient. And that's just having an extra person to be notified about changes that are being made to the application. For this example, I'm just going to say no, and then we're going to click on continue application. And then here is your last chance to review all of the information before starting the renewal portion of the application. So if you see anything that you need to edit, you can click on that section and it will take you back to that portion of the application to edit. Otherwise, scroll down, make sure that you read the oath of application, and if you agree to it, you'll check this box and you will start the application package for your renewal. Okay, so now here is the application that will start the renewal. And what you want to do is you're going to start with the licensed establishment portion, and then you'll work your way down to complete each section of your renewal application. And then at the end, you'll submit your application. Once this is turned blue, you'll be able to submit your application package, and then you'll pay your renewal fees. So for this, we're going to start by clicking on Start next to Licensed Establishment. Okay, and here you are just verifying that the address that you are renewing, you want to make sure that you're renewing the address that you want to renew, and this address has no suites or units or anything. It's just a straight up street address. And then you're going to click on Continue Application. And then this page is showing you all of the documents that are required or information that is required to renew your application. And you'll need your possession of property certificate or your lease, which is valid for at least 90 days from the application date. You'll want all of your on-site manager information. And if you don't have any of this information, please make sure that you save and resume and then log out of your online application. If you allow the system to time out and you don't properly save and resume and log out, it will create errors in your application. So please don't allow your system to time out. You always, if you need to walk away from the application, save and resume within 30 days and log out. Otherwise, if you have everything and you're ready to submit your application, click on Continue Application. This page is just asking you to verify a location name for this licensed establishment. It's okay if you don't have a location name for this establishment. People use this sometimes if they have multiple locations. They want to identify the licenses under a specific address. You could be like the north location name or west location, something like that. Otherwise, if you don't need to have that location name for your records, you can just leave it blank and click on Continue Application. Okay, and then here you can verify your on-site manager for your location. And again, you need at least one, or you can have up to 3. And you can verify the on-site manager that you had listed last year. Are they still the same on-site manager? Is this all still their same address information, their phone number, email, etc.? And if not, you can click on this and edit the selected information, or you can add 2 more managers, or you can delete this manager and add a different manager. But just make sure that you review everything for accuracy. And this on-site managers must have the authority to make decisions regarding the licensed establishment, and they must have access to and control over the licensed establishment at all time. So please make sure that you have the correct on-site manager listed and that you have the correct and accurate phone and email contact information for them. Otherwise, if everything looks good, you'll just click on Continue Application. Okay, and this page is just asking again, do you own or rent your property? And if you say you rent the property, you want to make sure that you have the expiration date of your lease. Please verify the expiration date. If it's changed, if it's been extended, please make sure that you have the correct expiration date for your lease on here. And if everything looks good, you'll click on Continue Application. Okay, and this is where you upload the required documents. And for this, you can either upload the full lease or you can upload the possession of property certificate that is completely filled out, signed, and dated, or the lease if all amendments, extensions, it needs to be a fully executed lease. And if it says it has 100 pages, we need pages 1 through 100. So please make sure if you're uploading a lease that we have all of the pages, or you can just have the possession of property certificate filled out and signed and dated. So you will upload that document. So you'll click over here on the upload box, and then you will find that document on your computer. You'll click on that document and you will add it. And again, make sure that all documents are in PDF or JPEG format. We are not able to open any other type of document. And then once that has successfully uploaded, you will click on Continue Application. And again, you will have one more opportunity to review the renewal portion for this package, and this is the licensed establishment portion, and that's talking about the physical address and the on-site information, the on-site manager information, and whether you own or rent, and the required documents. If you need to edit anything, you can click on the edit button and go back to that portion of the application to edit. If everything looks good, you'll click on that oath of application and make sure that you read the oath of application. And if you agree, you'll click on that box and then you'll click on Continue Application. Okay, so now you can tell that we have completed the licensed establishment portion of the renewal. And so that's pertaining to the address. And it's the company at that address that you're renewing all of the licenses for. So now you're going to start the next portion of the renewal process. You're going to renew the individual licenses attached to that address. And so by doing that, you'll have to click on, if you have more than one license, you'll have more than one start button here, and it will tell you the different types of licenses and their record numbers or their city license numbers that are attached. And then you'll have to make sure that each one of these start buttons is in a complete edit status before you can submit the full application package. And so we will start renewing the individual licenses attached to that licensed establishment. We are now going to start renewing a cultivation license. So what you are going to do is you will click on the start button next to your cultivation license. And again, this cultivation license, it's going to let you know that it's the cultivation license under this company name listed at this specific address. And again, this address has no units or suites attached to it. It's just a street address, and you can't edit anything here. And then you'll just click on Continue Application. And this page tells you the documents and information that you will need to renew your cultivation license. You will just click on Continue Application. So this page is going to ask you for your alarm permit number for your location. So you'll put in that alarm permit number, and then it's just verifying the state license number that you put into the system when you transitioned your application online. And the state license number should be the same. And then you'll also want to input the state expiration date for that license. So you'll put in the state expiration date, and then it's asking you, with this cultivation license, do you perform any cold water extraction? Yes or no. And then also it's going to ask you, have you received any of the following marijuana enforcement division actions within the past 12 months? Have you seen an order to show cause? Have you seen a summary suspension? Or have you seen an administrative hold for this license? So you will answer those questions. If you answer yes, you will be required to upload those documents. And then you'll click on continue application. And then here you are being asked to upload your documents. So you'll need a copy of your state license for this cultivation license, and then you'll also need to upload a social impact plan for this cultivation license. So you'll click on upload and you'll go find that license on your computer, and then you'll add that state license, and then you will upload your social impact plan. And then once you've verified that you have both documents successfully uploaded, you can click on the continue application. And then here, you'll want to make sure that you read all of these statements. And if you agree and acknowledge to the terms, then you will check that little box next to the application and make sure that you read all of the statements and you fully understand them and you agree to them. And then you check all of the boxes and then you click on continue application. And then here you will make sure that you review all of the information. This is your final review. If you see anything that needs to be edited, you can click on that edit button next to that section and go back and edit that information. If everything looks good and you have all of the correct documents uploaded, then you can read the oath of application, check this box, and then click on continue application if you agree to the oath of application. And then again, you'll read the full oath, you'll check that box, and you'll click on continue application. Okay, now you are getting ready to submit your renewal application package. And to be able to submit your renewal application package, each section of that renewal package has to be complete. And you can see that over here. If anything says start, this would still be grayed out and you would not be able to submit the application package. And again, an application package may only have 2 sections or it may have multiple sections. But as always, you need to make sure that each section is in the complete edit status. And then the submit application package is in blue. And so then you will now click on submit application package. Okay, now you should be ready to pay your fees due. And again, you're in your records under your business licenses, under my records. And over on the right hand side, as part of your renewal package, you may have one fee to pay or multiple fees to pay. But you have to make sure that you pay all fees due before we will consider the full renewal package to be submitted. So whether you have 1 or 5, make sure that you go in and pay all fees due. And to do that, what you will do is you click on pay fees due next to each license that you have to pay the renewal fee for. And then here is the page that's just going to tell you the pay fees due. The fees vary by the license type. And so you'll just review the pay fees due for the specific license type that you are renewing. And then you'll click on continue application. And then again, this page is just telling you the full fees due that you're going to pay for the type of license that you're renewing. And again, the fees vary depending on the type of license that you're renewing. And then you just click on checkout now. And then here, you're going to put in either the credit card information or the bank account information. For this example, we're going to use a credit card, and you can pay with a Discover, MasterCard, or Visa. And then you will input that information. You'll put in the card number, the expiration date, and the zip code for the billing address on that credit card. And so you'll put in that information, and then you will click on complete transaction. And then here is a receipt for your online payment. You need to make a copy of this page for your records. We do not email or mail you copies of the receipt. This is your only receipt. So please make sure you make a copy of this page for your records as the receipt for payment for this. And again, please make sure you make a copy of this. And then if you have more fees to pay, you'll just click on Back to Permit Center. And then once you get back there, you'll just keep paying the fees due for your renewal package until everything has been paid. And then that will be considered a complete submission of your renewal packet. Okay, and so once everything has been paid and the renewal application has been submitted, once all fees have been paid, then Excise and Licenses will start reviewing the application, and we have 7 to 10 business days to do the first review of the application. It may take longer to complete the renewal if we need more documents or clarification from you. So again, 7 to 10 business days for us to review the application, and it may take longer to issue the renewed license. But I would like to thank you for watching this Denver Excise and Licenses video, and I hope that you have a great day.